Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Oliver Smith Watches. Those of you who know, I'm George. This is Elizabeth.
Hello.
Today, we have maybe one of the most complicated Panerais ever made.
Very possible, and kind of historically special Panerai as well. Again, another watch we weren't really expecting to see in 2024. Maybe I was expecting it. George wasn't.
She had some secrets. She was in some meetings that I wasn't in on, so she definitely had she had the jump on me this whole year. So.
Yeah, literally, and good pun intended on the jump.
Oh, yeah, the jump.
So we're sitting down with Panerai's new Platinum annual calendar Radiomir. So if you know the history of Panerai actually has a pretty deep history with Platinum Radiomir models going all the way back to the PAM01364.
PAM01364, yeah. For those of you who don't know, after the acquisition with what was Vendome, then now Richemont, they did the first special edition Panerai really ever. You could go back to some of the slide text stuff, but as a Richemont Vendome thing, and it was done in a Radiomir case. They found a bunch of old Rolex movements, and they remade one of the original Radiomirs. They did a limited edition of 60, technically 61 because there was a 00, and it set the world on fire. It was one of the most sought after Panerais, full stop, but it was done in platinum. So, and
I would still say to this day, probably one of the most collectible Panerai, one of the most for sure.
If you got a PAM013, you're like.
And we've been fortunate to see maybe one or two, and they're really special.
Two. That's it. Count them.
That's too soon, too. So the Radiomir coming out with Platinum makes sense for Panerai. We've seen Platinum Radiomirs over the years, always in special editions.
Was great, that Cali dial one.
Yeah, always really low-key. Yeah. Like, you can't tell it's platinum. Yep. From further away, you can't quite tell platinum steel, what's the metal. It's always very low-key. This might be one of the more louder models we've seen with platinum. If you remember going back to 2021, there was a luminor released with a green dial in platinum.
Talking about that. That one got by me too. I need to see this watch.
I think we got one in Aspen.
In Aspen? Okay.
And that's why I
never saw that one.
Very low production, very quick, but I would imagine the success on that with the green dial and the platinum also inspired this watch.
And green has certainly taken over the watch world for the past couple of years. And just a personal note, it's either right or it's wrong.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad green watches out there. This ain't one of them. This is just gorgeous. Just from take the ultrology out of it, just from a colorway standpoint. The platinum case, the gold hands, that just a great fume green dial, fading into the sandwich dial, the absolutely perfect fotina of the numbers, and then a strap I've never seen before as well.
Yeah.
This really rich alligator strap. It's just a stunning watch.
Really, they made it really special. So back in 2023 last year, we did a video where we recapped Watches and Wonders with Panerai, and one of the lead complications.
The red dial? Yeah.
Was this complication, the annual calendar on a Radiomir, and let it be known, George predicted the use of the burgundy dial.
Yep.
And we are still talking about it 2 years later.
I like it when I'm right. It doesn't happen every day.
So we originally saw the burgundy red dial and a blue dial in the Radiomir. So now this year we're getting the green and done in platinum. George, maybe kind of walk us through the movement, why it's so special.
So it is an annual calendar, and it's kind of interesting to do any sort of complication onto a Radiomir. You have a lot of dial to work with. What's fascinating here, you have a day, date, and on this outer chapter ring, you have the month. So this watch knows whether the month has 30 or 31 days and will automatically equate for it. The only time you'll really have to mess with it would be leap year.
Right.
So like once every 4 years, you have to go, no big deal.
It's fine.
It works interestingly enough. Most of the stuff comes off the crown. So the month will change based off the date off the crown. Over here, you have a detent pusher, and that will change your day of the week. Everything's in Italian.
Yeah.
So there might be a learning curve for some of you. I come from New Jersey, so it's pretty natural for me.
It's close enough to follow along. I think things are similar enough.
You'll pick it up.
And good for the Panerai heritage.
Yeah. Absolutely.
45 millimeter case, which George mentioned, gives us plenty of room on the dial to play with. It's going to wear heavy. It's in platinum.
Platinum's heavy, yeah. Platinum's just a joyously heavy material, yeah.
It's actually Panerai's Platinumtech material. So it's their own special alloy. They say it's tougher than your kind of classic platinum.
Which is good. Platinum can be a little smooshy. But just for those of you, if you haven't had a chance to pick up a platinum watch, it literally weighs twice as much as your brain thinks it's going to weigh, and it makes me smile every single time. I love platinum.
It feels
watches.
very special. And of course, we have a sapphire crystal case back. You can see the movement, which is beautiful, and only 200 made.
200. Okay, I was going to ask. Yeah, and I knew it was limited. But...
So again, a boutique special edition. We're lucky even to see one here, and then of course we had to bring it to all of you.
Absolutely. And for those of you who are new to the channel, thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. It really, helps us out. We have a physical location up here at the Gainey Village in Scottsdale, and then a brand brand new one down in Scottsdale Fashion Square as well. And if you are fortunate enough to be traveling, head to Aspen and say hi to Bo for us.